What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Action Sunday. This week, I'm looking at the Transporter. Yes, and of course, I think you're kind of noticing a bit of a trend here. So let me explain this. So at the end of 2018, I covered the Expendables. So I think now I got plenty of material that I can work on for the first couple of weeks of the new year, maybe into the next month. Of maybe looking at movies from all these action stars that starred in that incredible ensemble that is the Expendables. So last week I looked at Dolph Lundgren. This week I'm going to look at Jason Statham, and I decided, why not? Let's look at the role that kind of made him famous, and that is the Transporter. And I was contemplating maybe lumping this in with the second one, but I said, you know what? Let's just look at the first one. See how well that has come along. And after watching it, I realized, man, this movie was really fun. This was definitely a fun movie. Even though some people might think, oh, it may hasn't aged as well, but I still think it was real fun. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's just really entertaining. Statham is just a badass in this movie. Even though for some reason I felt like, how can I say this? The fight scenes felt like more like a Jet Li or a Jackie Chan movie, but it was still fun and entertaining nonetheless. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with the Transporter, so I'll give you the short version. So Jason Statham plays a guy named Frank. He's a driver. What he does is he's the kind of guy that he's hired to help with a job. He's like hired to drive or deliver people, kind of thing. He could drive people away from bank heists or deliver packages. So and it shows in like the opening scene where he helps with a bank heist, which is a bit of a slapstick at first. Then it gets really, really good as that opening scene goes. Then his next assignment is that he's given a package to deliver, and it turns out it's actually a hostage. It leads to something bigger, which turns out is a human trafficking ring. So which gets a little deeper, and it's just crazy to think about that. And of course, I love the saying for this movie, and of course, it is kind of appropriate, even though it's kind of like a pseudo real life thing. The saying is all set in Europe, which of course that kind of happens in real life, because I heard there are a lot of human trafficking rings over in Europe, which I think we and the human trafficking ring. Okay, it's not right. Okay, but anyway, I just love the whole thing. It just goes right off the rails, like at 100 miles an hour. Like as soon as the first thing happens, like the guys that he's doing the delivery, they double cross him. Then he goes and kicks their ass. Then it's like one adrenaline right after another. It's just really incredible. And like the stylized fights, like I thought were really great. My favorite was possibly the warehouse fight scene, like I call it the depot warehouse fight scene, because it's a place with all the buses, and it gets really good. He utilizes the environment to his advantage. He uses stuff on the bus, uses like grease, which I thought was disgusting, but of course he used it to his advantage. It was really emblematic of of a Jackie Chan or a Jet Li film, because which is kind of funny is that one of the directors is Corey Yuen, who actually directed a few Jet Li movies of himself. He directed The Legend 2, and The Defender. So, yeah, if you can find those movies, go check them out. And definitely look up Corey Yuen. He does a good job. I feel like he's a bit of doesn't get a lot of respect these days, especially considering his relationship with Jet Li. But anyway, back to the movie. Yeah. That scene I really enjoyed. It's like he really utilizes to his extent, and then of course how he gets out of that sticky situation is just incredible. I don't want to give much away. If you have not seen this movie, go check it out. And like I love the final chase. It's just batshit and crazy. Like it's like a highway scene. There's trucks. There's fighting and all that. And then of course in the end he wins, rescues the hostage, and the hostage is the human trafficking ring. Cut, and of course roll the credits. Good way to end. But of course it definitely makes me say, oh wow, that was just an adrenaline ride, and I'm ready to see more. And then, of course, you would get the Transporter 2, which, of course, is a story for another day. But still, for the first one, it has a great saying. I love the feel. It definitely feels like a traditional kung fu movie, even though you have Jason Statham, a British actor, instead of like a Chinese actor, like Jet Li or Jackie Chan, which, like I said, I felt like it was more geared towards them. But it's still an overall entertaining. The overall action is real fun. There's definitely some lighthearted humor throughout it, especially coming from the female lead. I keep forgetting her name. It's hard to pronounce, but she does a good job. But Statham really shows how far he's come from as an actor. Like here he is, breakout role. It's like, okay, here I am. My name is Frank. I'm a transporter. I'm going to kick your ass. That kind of thing with his thick, I believe it's a Yorkshire accent. So now I know what a Yorkshire accent is. That's a note for another day. But anyway, if you have not seen the Transporter, go watch them. In fact, go watch all the Transporter movies. I'd say avoid the show. I feel like I don't know. I'm having a mixed bag about feeling about that show. But of course, that's kind of off the show, off the air. But anyway, if I'm going to give the Transporter a score, I'm going to give the first Transporter movie an 8 out of 10. Real fun, entertaining stuff, okay? So that does for this week. Let me know what you think. Go check it out. Thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for some more awesome videos.